Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa made a special statement today.
Parliament.
The problem is in the Parliament. Hence, there is no need to hold a presidential election at this stage. No party obtained a clear majority at the general election held in August 2015. The UNP obtained 106 seats, the UPFA obtained 96. The difference was just 10 seats. A UNP-led government was formed only on the basis of an agreement entered into with a group of UPFA parliamentarians. The UPFA group left the government on the 26th of October. Thereafter, several UNP parliamentarians joined our ranks. Today, I am the leader of the largest group of MPs in Parliament. After the parliamentary elections of 1994, 2001 and 2004, Presidents D.B. Wijetunga and Chandrika Kumaratunga, who held office at the time, invited the largest group in Parliament to form a government. On that basis, governments were formed by the People's Alliance in 1994, the UNP in 2001 and the UPFA in 2004. What we did on the 26th of October was to form an interim government that would have lasted only until the conclusion of the general election that has already been declared but temporarily put on hold by the courts. In 2006, after the war with the LTTE resumed, the people of this country, the trade unions, consumers, professionals, businessmen and all sections of the population made it a point to refrain from doing anything that would disrupt the war effort. It is because of that public support that we were able to end the war that no one else was able to bring to an end. I wish to request the people to extend us the kind of support they gave us during the war in order to get this country out of the economic crisis it is now in. This is the last opportunity we have. If our efforts fail, this country will end up like Greece. We will have to work on the assumption that there is a situation of national calamity with regard to the economy. We will have to put a stop to burdening the people with taxes on one hand and then spending lavish amounts on importing vehicles for ministers, spending money on ceremonies and excessive amounts on foreign travel as the UNP government was wont to do. I have to make it clear that after the next general elections, we will have to appoint a suitable number of ministers so as to be able to have a stable government. Before everything else, this country has to have a stable government. However, that new government will have to keep expenditure under strict control. It would have been surprising if they didn't. In 2015, when we handed the country over to the UNP, all those ratings were going up. They started coming down only after 2015. I have to say that there is a subtle political element in these ratings as well. In 2009, immediately after the war, when our credit ratings should have gone up, we were downgraded. But the markets had complete confidence in our government and no one took any notice of the downgrade. The President entrusted the country to us because he knows that we have the capacity to meet such challenges as well. The UNP too is well aware of that fact, which is why they speak to foreign journalists and diplomats on a daily basis in a campaign to convince the outside world that it is undemocratic to hold a general election. They know that if a general election is held and a government led by us comes into power, we will solve all these problems. The government that we will form together with the President will be a powerful and people-oriented government. As the general election which would have enabled the people to elect a stable government has been delayed, it will take some time for a stable government to be formed. During this interim period, I request the people to stand by us and to participate in the effort to restore economic stability to this country. The people will remember that during our period of rule between 2006 and 2014, we took every measure possible to avoid imposing heavy burdens on the people. This is why we reduced the price of fuel and some essential foodstuffs soon after assuming office on the 26th of October. We reintroduced the fertilizer subsidy and reduced taxes on agricultural incomes so as to reduce the burden on the people and to increase production. The cabinet spokesman of the previous government has publicly stated on numerous occasions that in 2015 the people had not voted for a change of government due to any lack of food and clothing. He said that the people voted for a change in 2015 for the sake of democracy. But after that change of government, the people ended up without democracy, without the right to vote and without food and clothing as well. Is that not what happened? The endeavour that we are engaged in now is Sri Lanka's last chance to come out of the crisis it is in. Let us all join hands to defeat the forces that seek to destroy this country by perpetuating their rule without holding elections.
වලිකන බලවේග අපි හැමෝම එකතු වෙලා පරාජය කළා මේ රට නැවත හරි මගට ගමු.